Hello everybody, my name is Digital Cake. Welcome back to Neo Scavenger. So, we're back here at the beginning with, yeah, all of these skills here, which is very funny. Really is how ironic that we're here again. Once again, this just happens to be here every time. Okay, so this was actually recommended to me right here, this set right here. Although I'm gonna have to make a couple edits. Like, I need trapping, no matter what. I mean, just have to say that right now. Also, if I sound ever so slightly quiet, it is because I am the utmost tired. And how can I tell that I am tired? Well, it's because I literally I fell asleep 3 times today so far. Since I've vacated to my household, which is, by the way, not a good thing. So let's get our Dogman fur coat, and let's start on our adventure. Now, usually we always go directly here, get a bunch of stuff, and then we go directly downward. Well, the only change now is that I was actually told not to go downward towards Boston, Detroit, Seattle, Portland, wherever the freak. Oh my god, I got a backpack. Holy crap, this is overpowered. Tunnel people. The second housing collapse in as many years since people flocking to flood tunnels for shelters. Well, for shelter. Record numbers of bilingual mortgagors are seeking shelter anywhere they can find it. Many are turning to ad hoc communities centered around abandoned infrastructure, including flood tunnels, metro stations, and transfer stations. Let's just quickly... Okay. Alrighty, well, I'm glad that I still have a water bottle. So I was recommended to search both of these, and then instead of going down and to the side, I should actually go directly straight up, which to me does not make any sense, but they told me that once I get far enough up, I will meet a certain group of people that I don't want to take off. And I was like, okay, I can do that. Oh my god, I found another frickin' backpack. Checking the digital water tester. Taking the water bottle. Alrighty, and I'm already heading directly upwards while scavenging a lot. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to scavenge those because I have 0 chances with those things. Okay. As you pick your way through overgrown ruins, a peculiar sound becomes briefly audible. It disappears, but picks up again in a moment, as if carried by air currents. It's a distant humming, like small gas engines out of place in the stillness of empty forests and abandoned buildings. What the frick? Is this literally the people that he was talking about? Nope. Oh, heck yeah. Famous fedoras. Oh, I'm definitely taking that. Yeah. And yet it moves. Oh, here's another newspaper article. A year after uprising, militias hold sway in the Gallian Confederacy. One militia controls Europa's spaceport. Others carve up colonies on Ganymede into fiefdoms. They clash both on the surface and in orbit, terrifying colonists and holding detainees in makeshift prisons where torture is said to be rampant. Okay. Oh, I'm bleeding. Why am I bleeding? Why did nobody warn me I was bleeding? Okay, but when did I fall asleep exactly, you may ask? Well, first of all, I don't think it's all that much of your business, and this guy does not look very friendly. Offer to talk. Okay, yeah, this guy's not talking. Oh, I'm so going to die. Crawl away. Crawl away. Crawl away. Crawl away. Pull down. I'm dead. That was quick. Let's try this again. But no, when I fell asleep, it was both at the computer, which was the first time, which is kind of dangerous. Mainly because I would be recording this earlier on, but like I said, I had fallen asleep, which means I wasn't very able to do it. Why am I so awkwardly singing or making noise or humming? It's currently because I am trying to keep myself awake from falling asleep mid-recording session. That's useful. That's a multi-tool. Phone, shut up. I do not care what you have to say. Scavenge abandoned office buildings. Yes. Oh, thank God. Abandoned office buildings. They're gonna save my life. No, they're not, apparently. Okay, I really should take this with me. Best corn, Nicola. It's gonna be very useful to me. Which means otherwise I need to keep moving. Yeah, alright, I know there is a humming. Oh my God, it is right here. Storage shed. Oh, oopsies. Well, I mean, I found a lighter. That's good. I guess I'll finish scavenging here before I go in. No, I don't. Okay. Okay, now we're finally getting somewhere. We're reaching another event. As the source of the distant sounds finally comes into view, you stop in your tracks, unsure whether it's safe to continue. Ahead you see a titanic warehouse, like one of those distribution centers from before the apocalypse. There's a dull roar of ethanol generators combined with the occasional rev of unsuppressed exhaust from off-road vehicles. Figures seem to be milling around a low extensive on the right, and the occasional ATV arrives or departs without fanfare. You don't think you've been spotted yet this far out, though with all the activity it's hard to tell. What should I do? Should I leave Zom Zoms? Leave the Zom Zoms. Place to eat? Yeah, place to eat. Or approach the warehouse. I'm gonna approach the warehouse, because, I mean, the worst that could happen. You cautiously approach the warehouse, noting a bright sign reading Zom Zoms, a place to eat. I was correct. The sign hangs over a giant garage door, which is fenced off behind tarp and barbed wire. Bright lights, welding arcs, and peculiar shadows can be seen in the fenced area, and a din of rowdy chatters echoes from within the building. A semi-trailer attached to one of the loading bays acts as a makeshift gate and pedway into the warehouse. Ragged-looking figures line up alongside the trailer, watched over by armed mercenaries. It looks more like a club than anything else, except for that tarp area. Just then, your stomach sinks when you realize there's a truck on the other side offloading prisoners or slaves of some sort. Biting back panic, you reason that showing fear now might mark you as a target and try to not break your stride. Mercifully, nobody seems to care. I can either approach the line or leave Zom Zoms. I'm gonna approach the line. I mean, the worst that could happen is I die. Ooh. While in line, you feel a flutter of anxiety each time the line advances. With each step, you try to catch a glance of what's through the doorway in the trailer, but you still can't tell. Most of the people in the line are ragtag looking, wearing mismatched clothing and stinking of sweat. Some confused, others bored. The guards are better groomed by comparison. Though you suspect they'd just as soon murder you for your clothes if they weren't being paid. Up a few wooden plank steps, not stairs, you step inside the semi-trailer. A hollow sound of a crowd echo down near the narrow corridor from the warehouse. To your right is a clipboard and mesh booth where an attendant is collecting fees and weapons and stamping people before they walk down the trailer into the warehouse. Stalker spectator. The attendant drones, looking disinterestedly past you. I am a spectator. I'm not a stock. Never mind, never mind. Stamping your hand with a symbol and number, nods to another grisly merc who checks you for weapons. You receive a chit for your confiscated items and are ushered down the trailer. You hear the man behind you answer spectator to the attendant before passing into a wall of sound inside the warehouse. So apparently I'm a spectator. Inside it's one part super club, one part gladiator pit. Oh, this sounds like my kind of club. I can just hear the frickin' wonderful music going on right now. A wall of sound assaults your ears as you cross the threshold. Part human cacophony, part generator exhaust, mostly Frederick industrial music. Oh yeah, I called it. It's all frickin' electronic. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. This is like a club in like Germany. Yeah, we're at the club right here. Okay, and the smell of food and smoke. You can't hear it over the noise, but you can feel your stomach rumble at the smell of sweet barbecue. The carnivorous warehouse is dominated by a dirt-floored arena with high mesh walls. Spectators ring the pit on 3 sides, the 4th reserved for a large garage door leading outside into the tarp-fenced courtyard. Beyond the door, you catch the flash of welding arcs where it appears scrapyard robots are being prepared. Oh my god, this is a freaking robo fight. They have robots and they fight them. Oh my god. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that really hurt too. And opposite the garage door, the thing you really care about right now, a wide booth with grills spewing sweet and spicy smoke into the rafters above. People clamor to get at it and walk away with their prize smeared over hands and lips alike. Barbecue. You wade through dirty patrons, intent on manhandling some ribs or beans and rice, or whatever it is they've got cooking over there. Who knows how long you've been in cryo? How long has it been since you've had a hot meal? I don't know. Stop asking me these questions. You're not allowed to break the 4th wall. Stop asking me questions. Okay, so I think I'm in first person right now, actually. Pressing your way through this final wall of hungry patrons, you get an elbow on the counter and desperately try to make eye contact with one of the servers. A few external minutes later, one of the apron-clad food slingers glances at you and you nod like an excited dog. He reaches into a smoker box, withdraws a loaded skewer, and places it in your hand. Sweet, succulent barbecue. Savoring it at first, you start to grow paranoid that it'll be snatched from your hands, and you bear down on it with renewed fever, huddling with it against your lips as you absently walk away from the grill. This meat. It's like good, fully developed veal, not young, but not yet beef. Yes, very definitely like that, and not like any other meat you've tasted. In fact, so much so that you think no person with a palate of ordinary, normal sensitivities, or a phone that likes to vibrate at you whenever the timer goes off. Normal sensitivities could distinguish it from veal. It is mild, good meat with no other sharply defined or highly characteristic taste, such as, for instance, goat, high game, and pork calf. The steak is slightly tougher than prime veal, a little stringy, but not too tough or stringy to be agreeably edible. The roast is tender and in color. Texture, smell, as well as taste strengthens your certainty that all of the meats you happily know, veal is one meat to which this meat is accurately comparable. Something tells me I'm a cannibal now. Just then, an announcer pipes up with that same oscillating voice every strip club DJ seems to have. He starts hyping the crowd. Can you count, suckers? He shouts. Patrons start yelling back, I said, can you count, suckers? On cue, a testosterone-fueled wave of shouts come from the floor. Raise those numbers! He calls with expectations, and everybody raises their fists in unison. The music changes. Lights switch to UV, and numbers appearing on all the stamped hands. Your heart starts to race as you realize what's happening. This is a murder pit. Looking around, everybody has a stamp, and most of them don't look like yours. Everyone has numbers, but it's clear now what the symbols are. Most patrons have silhouettes of vultures next to their number. You look down at your hand. Yours is a lamb. Oh my god, I'm a lamb. The announcer calls a number, a low number. You feel a bit nauseous, but also relieved. You raise your hand. Nearby patrons looking subtly, then quickly losing interest in it. A scream of protest erupts from the far side of the arena. Everyone nearby looks across where commotion is starting. A man is hoisted into the air like a crowd surfer at a concert and propelled to the arena gate. Patrons claw the remainder of his barbecue from his flailing hands, fighting over it like dogs. Guards wrangle the struggling man and toss him in onto the dirt floor in the arena as the gate is sealed behind him. The winner is a filthy, weak, and confused-looking human. As he clambers to his feet, a clanking and squeaking sound crescents from the opposite side of the arena. Cheers start erupting through the warehouse as the source of noise rolls into the arena through the garage door. The bot is little more than a heavy, treading ring of barbed spikes. A haphazardly huge LED ticker sits atop its mast, flickering the words Morning Star, confirming your suspicion as to its nature. Without pausing, the bot starts closing in on the human who, to his credit, has given up rattling the gate and is now facing the more imminent danger. He starts circling left, leading the bot to one side of the pit, then dashes right as fast as he can, bypassing the bot. The move buys him a few seconds as the bot spins in place on its treads, but he ends up in the same situation on the reverse side of the arena. This continues for a few laps with the human visibly wearing down. Perhaps realizing his error, he switches tactics and leads the robot towards a support column and allows it to get close enough before ducking around it and the bot starting turning in place. But the tread gets hooked on the pillar, and for a moment it appears to be stuck. You can sense the tingle of hope in the man as he watches the bot rock to and fro for several seconds. However, the bot's rocking eventually frees itself, and it turns to face him again. Crestfallen, the man returns to his original strategy of dodging the robot like a bullfighter, even more slowly each pass. It doesn't take long for the robot to wear down its already weakened prey, and it scores its first hit, trampling his leg under treads. Oh man, that would be painful. The man's cry of pain is lost in a wave of cheering from the crowd as the robot backs up. The man hardly has time to limp before it rams him again, this time following through and impaling him against the wall. Drunk with bloodlust, the crowd is now screaming as the robot backs away once more from the stumbling, bleeding man. The bot rams into the wall one more time and backs away, this time with a human stuck on its spikes. The crowd cries out in ecstasy, which eventually simmers down to a rabble as the arena service personnel remove the entrails. Your mouth gape. You suddenly feel a wave of nausea. You begin looking around, panicked. I need to leave. Spotting the door you came in, you start pushing your way through the number. Maybe you can hand in your chit, get your stuff and go. Well, maybe you should just forget the stuff and leave before anybody notices you. Hold it, dude. The voice startles you even amidst the shouting crowd, and you turn to find a young man with an old face. He looks to be of Asian descent, with hair like a mop, big aviator glasses, and an improperly white fur coat. You really think you're gonna walk back out of the way you came in? He's visibly amused. You don't notice any weapons, but then again, in that outfit. Relax, I don't work here. In fact, I'm gonna try to make sure you don't either. Come on. He turns and heads toward the garage door. Since that's away from the arena's human-sized gate, you decide to follow. You get the sense he's a patron too, or at least not with the management, as neither guard nor patron seems to pay much attention. A little bird told me. He shouts over the crowd and music. You might know a thing or two about cryogenics. He talks over his shoulder as he walks, as if tossing words your way. I know a guy who's looking for some heavy-duty cooling units. He may be willing to trade for some info on where to score a few. You arrive at the massive garage door, and the cool air seems tinged with ozone. His name's the Stuart. Come on, dude, I'll introduce you. Out in the robot prep yard, mechanics are tending to their creators. Your companion stops alongside a tall robot, reminiscent of a farm combine. You shudder to think what it does to a human with those blades, but then something inside moves. Crawling out the feeder house behind the blades is a mechanic, who looks around and satisfied waves another out. The second looks more like one of the patrons than a mechanic, starved and scared. The pair skulk the fence line and disappear out of sight. The fur coat guy turns to you with a proud yet devious grin on his face. The Stout is pleased to make an acquaintance. Now about the medical plan. He suggestively taps his wrist. You snap the printed bracelet from your wrist and hand it to him. He slides it through his fingers, reading the lettering on the strap. Nice, dude. He bobs his head. I may have to do an expedition there. And nice name. Haha. He pulls the box out from under a flight case near the combine robot. Here. He opens the box. Unclaimed, lost, and found, let's say. He looks over your shoulder. Oh, and you'll probably want these back. You turn and see a familiar face from the front gate. She drops your checked items in a lockbox. You cast a glance back at the Stout, and he shrugs. What? I can't do this alone. Your safest bet is to go along the fence where they went. He thumbs over his shoulder, indicating the route the mechanic and patron followed. Unless you're still hungry. See you around, dude. He calls over his shoulder, walking back into the warehouse. Okay. Stout's friend awaits as you gather your things from the lockbox. Better make sure you empty that locker while you still have the chance. Once you're ready, you head along the fence back to the relative sanity of the wastelands. I'm taking my stuff back with me. Okay. Since we have been running onwards for quite a while, I think we're gonna end this here, right at Zom Zom's. It's the title name right there. So, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment telling me how stupid I am to not have done this in the first place, and why am I such a failure at life. Thank you. And if you like this content and would like to see further content from me, myself, Digital Cake at Digital Cake Productions, which is like a company. Yeah, basically a company. I'm CEO, founder, CEO, sole proprietor, owner of all the stocks. You know, basically. Make sure to subscribe. Not that difficult, really isn't. I mean, a monkey could literally wrench his way into it. Yeah. I mean, if you get this far, you understand, okay? My name is Digital Cake, signing off, and I'm gonna go to bed. Bye.